for this chorus, they already become bleachers already. For them also, let the smaller fishes to stay at home.
Okay, so once we are done, we can wash our hands over here. So there's a small area to show the rest of you as well. You see some unique animals over here. So these are the upside down sea jelly. This experience will be available. Visitors will be able to. You can see the dedication and care required for our animals over here to be well fed and well cared for.
那个嘴那样的，它一直在上面，然后它不下来。
Around the coral reefs. Okay, so now we'd like to invite everyone over to our very next zone for us to see some of the enhancements that men have actually done with regards to waters. So we will now take a look at some of the adaptations or to learn about the different marine animals.
Thank you.
Okay, so we can step inside here into the Research Learning Center. So if not, I will be bringing all of you back to the explorers where you can rest, and also I believe there are some complimentary refreshments for all of us. Okay, so if not, let's head back towards the ocean area.